Hello Libras, welcome to your July monthly reading. I'm going to use a deck of cards just to peek back at June, just to kind of see the progress there. I know that you were looking for clarity on an issue, and there was a request from the angels for you to take the first step in kind of taking any action. So let's see what you did in June. And then we'll use the charms and the cards here to look at July, the month ahead. I timestamp below so you can jump ahead if you don't want to tune in and watch the process and listen to me babble on. Okay, so let's look back at June for Libras. Let's see what they accomplished, or maybe you got stuck on something. You know, maybe you're still hung up on this issue, still kind of working through it. Who knows? We'll see. They will tell us. Cards aside, and then we'll look at July for Libras. What's on deck? What's coming up? What can they prepare for, look forward to? What's sort of the ongoing story here? Maybe there's an ongoing saga, who knows? Oh, kind of took those two out together. And up here. And now the other cards. And this is, ooh, not even put away right. We'll do an extra good shuffle. So just looking ahead, that was a surprise. So maybe there's a surprise, a similar kind of, whoa, wasn't expecting that moment that's coming up. Or maybe you'll have a deja vu moment. Like seen that before, because I saw those cards before. I just saw them in the previous reading. So maybe a sudden and unexpected surprise or moment of deja vu that's headed your way. Let's see. And lastly, the charms. Some additional messaging from angels, your soul's energy, your loved ones that have crossed over. Let's see what they kind of have to say about your month ahead here. This group has had a lot of charms. This group in sense of the three signs that I was kind of invited here to sit down and read all together. So Aries, Gemini, and Libras. You know, your angels want to talk to you here. Woo, look how that just poured out as I said that. Okay. I don't know if we've got good news about what you did here in June. Or maybe you didn't do, right? They wanted you to, look, they're giving you the double, you can fix this. Both of these, they gave you both. A double whammy here, you know? It's almost like mom and dad are coming in here. You can fix this. What are you doing? Okay, I'm just tuning in. Sort of seeing how the charms want to connect in. Oh, you know, I'm getting lower and lower. I don't know why. Maybe you're sinking in your chair when all this poured out. Maybe you knew you were kind of in trouble here. Maybe when I said mom and dad were coming here to waggle their finger at you. What's going on? Okay, your world. Something's affecting sort of who you are. It's like half of you here. It's cut off. You know, your world isn't whole, right? The globe is missing the other side here. Your other half. Okay. Oh, kind of work my way through this pile here to see what wants to group together as I clear my throat. So I did just say adjusting seat, right? So maybe you're starting to get uncomfortable here for your reading, Libras. I guess you know you didn't do anything. Look at all the angels here. Angels, angels, angels. Okay. Let's start with June. Let's look back. Needing clarity on an issue. Did you take any action? Take charge and take action. I think that was the same card we got. I don't know if I used this deck of cards for your June reading, but that was the message. Take charge and take action. They wanted you to focus, moving yourself from point A to point B. A lot of blue here, so it feels like it's an emotional requirement, right, for you to feel full healing. In the intro, I was saying that your world is halved here, your heart is halved here, so whole healing. Okay. I feel like you kind of sat around with wishful thinking here in June, because you have healing wrapped around your headspace here, but your heart is just like pouring out in the opposite direction, and your hands are kind of just like giving it up to the universe here, right? The transformation, it's kind of like it's in your hands, you do it. So maybe that's how you felt, or how you feel. Maybe you feel like this is in the other person's hand, right? That's your mindset. That's how you've resolved, right? The healing. You've come to a resolution that it's in their hands, or it's in the fate's hands, it's in destiny's hands. But that's not taking charge. That's sitting there. That's not taking the step. They were talking about taking a step forward, Libras. Okay. I mean, wishful thinking is good. The universe will help you, but look at them. They're handing you the arrow. You still have to shoot the arrow. They can create it. They can call down Cupid to give you one of his magical arrows, right? To correct a situation. But you gotta string it and shoot it. Okay. That's similar to Gemini's reading. I just came from Gemini's reading, and they had a strong message on we're doing the 95%, but you got to do like the last 2 to 5% here for us. And same thing happened too when I said that message. The sky here kind of opened up. The rain is coming down heavier. For Gemini, it was connecting in with crying. So maybe this story is just really connecting in with some kind of deep heart relationship here. Because we saw it here, right? I'll start here because I keep coming here. So July, there's this, you're still lacking your wholeness here, your other half, this other piece of you, or other part of you. It could just be a hobby, a passion, something that you've given up, but you're missing it, and that's why your world is not complete. In the intro, I showed how it was, a flat charm. It's not one of my 3D ones. It's not whole. It's only half. Only half your world is complete right now. So what's this other half? Here's your notebook. Look back. Look back on all your lived history. Look back on all your experiences. What are you missing? What's that other half? What's that other half? What's going to complete your world here? So even the angel, look, she's softly kind of looking back at each experience. Maybe this was each interaction, each time you had a similar opportunity, right? If this is just a job opportunity that you feel is slipping through your fingers, right? That connection, that next step, that next phase in life. There's this feeling of it's just out of reach, but it's actually within reach. She can touch it. She can close her hand around it. Her angels are trying to put this big spotlight on it, right? Do this, do this. And there's this gentleness here about it. Kind of a soft approach to it. So I don't know if you need to get into a more gentle emotional space. This resolution that I saw here, this very resolute positioning, it's in their hands. It's in your hands. And the angels are here coming to counteract that statement, saying, no, it's in your hand. It's within reach. Just approach it with gentleness here. Softness. I don't know if Libra, if like I don't follow characteristics too much of zodiac signs, but I don't know if it's part of a Libra character to not be so vulnerable and gentle. You know, maybe this is just them asking you to be more vulnerable, if that's not a general characteristic for you. And here we are with the world, right? But his world's incomplete. You know, he's standing here without his clothes, sort of the missing piece for, he's got everything else in place, but he doesn't have his crown, and he doesn't have his clothes here, right? His warmth. And then his crown will be his sense of, you know, his fulfillment, his sense of purpose, you know, that full heart, that full passion here. So you're missing something that makes you feel good, right? We got the gentleness, the kindness. Warmth means joy, happiness, smiling, you know, just kind of enjoying your world completely here. Okay, let's come beside here. I'll probably have to make room for all those charms anyways. So there's this gift related to a sense of direction here. But they're drawing me into like how sometimes you bring a bottle to a housewarming. You bring a bottle as a gift to the host for dinner. I think they're just wanting me to focus in on this symbolism, right? It's a small gesture. That's what I'm trying to get to. You know, you just show up with the bottle for the table to enjoy because the host has spent the day making the meal, right? So again, there's this gentleness. It's just a subtle, you don't really draw too much attention to the gift, right? You just kind of hand it off. It's part of the thank you, and then everybody kind of enjoys. So we're coming back to a small gesture, taking that one step that we saw in June, and gentleness. And if you're giving it, so that means you're visiting this person, right? You're bringing it. You give it to the host, so that means you're showing up somewhere. Maybe you have something in your calendar for July. Maybe you have a small little gathering, a small little trip, where you're going to be able to do this small gesture for that person. So in the intro, I did get drawn into these two charms. They are the same charm. It means it's my DIY charm. It means that you can fix it. You know, don't be dependent on dad. Don't be dependent on somebody else. I love that insurance brand that has the commercial that says, you know, I can do it now, dad. You know, I don't have to call dad now, right? The self-empowerment here, but the angels chose to have me, as I was mixing them up, to actually grab both and dropping both. So like I said, I don't know if some of you have lost both parents, because I feel like this is like mom and dad, or just a heavy emphasis here from loved ones on the other side that are trying to say, like, you can fix this. And I feel like if I was to put them together, you know, that would be your world up here, right? Because then it's complete. It's not empty on both sides. So, you know, maybe the person you're going to visit is the yin to your yang, right? Your twin in personality. You know, you're just connected that way. So then we still have clarity of information. And we saw that in June, that you needed clarity on an issue, and you had to pursue that and take action to that clarity. So we have the knowledge, you know, the turtle, the new knowledge, the fresh knowledge, swimming towards the heart, which is the missing information, the clarity here. So there is a source of information that will give you the clarity you seek. You know, there is someone out there that you can be going to get that insight, so that you fully understand. Oh, look at that. Look at you. You're talking to the little buddy here. You're getting the clarity, the insight. I don't know why you're waiting till fall. Why is your summer so busy? Why is July so busy that you're not doing anything till, you know, maybe September, October here? Probably October. Why are you waiting till October to reach out and talk? Oh, and look, we got the duality again. You know, your other half. You're two parts of the same. I don't know if I said that because I was touching the family tree here, the tree of life. You know, you're two parts of the same. You make each other whole. I bet this other person feels this limb missing. I think I said that up here, missing limb. They feel like a missing limb, right? The hand here. Your right hand is missing. Your right hand person. Maybe that's what they're trying to get me to say. Your right hand man, right? That best friend. The person who's just like you, gets you. Your personalities are the right mix here. So we've got a message here of a small gesture goes a long way in terms of you gaining the clarity and the insight you need regarding this connection, this situation, so that you feel whole. Okay. Getting into the plethora now of charms. Let's see how they're elaborating on this story. So we have change in perspective. This is looking at things through a new lens. It could just be that gentleness, right? Try to put more aggressive emotions aside or strip all emotions out and just look, observe. This is kind of like sit back and listen as well, because you need a new perspective. Be open-minded. You know, we all can go through the same experiences but live them a different way. So maybe there's just see it their way. Like give yourself a moment to see it their way. And I'm saying that as I'm picking up choosing strength and direction here, right? The compass. So if you're changing perspective, changing direction, that means you're kind of going their way. That's going to take strength. It does take strength to be open-minded, to put aside judgment, to put aside hurt feelings and try to hear someone out. Or if there's a history, right? There's a history there. You know, our ears are often closed. I'm going to save these three. I'm going to come up to this kind of grouping of four. So we have healing, you know, physical healing. I bet you don't realize that this missing piece of you is actually displaying into some physical symptoms. Could just be stress, right? Could be hair falling out, stress-related hair falling out. Maybe you're absent-minded. Maybe you're tripping. There's a connection here between the situation and how it's physically appearing now in your waking life. You know, maybe you're catching fingers in drawers. You know, missing that last step. You put the glass in the sink too hard and it broke. It's kind of, the energy is now coming out of you, and it's manifesting in kind of these little oopsies moments. So then we have, I can't even pick this up. Oh my gosh. So I don't know why it's so hard for you to make peace here. You know, you have a bucket of love. And I was trying to pick up peace and love, but I could barely pick up peace. So you're really struggling with making the peace here. And maybe that's why now your energy, it's so built up. Like, look how huge, this is one of my largest doves in my charm buckets here. So the amount of peace that needs to be made up here is now equating to the energy pushing out, right? We're seeing the display here in your home environment, the circus tent. Could be at work as well, your second environment, wherever you spend the second most amount of your time. Whatever is your home bases here, you're having little slip-ups here. You're having signs. The angels are tossing you signs that now is the time to make this amount of peace. You know, it's starting to affect your health here. Okay. So then we have this sense of loss again. You know, looking in the wrong direction. The Cupid, the angels here, flying in with the sign, the banner, you know, has the answer written here, and you're looking down, and this is the star. So a strong message here of you're ignoring your intuition, and we saw that in June, right? We saw this, you just giving it up. You know, it's up to you. The fate's in your hands, fate's in their hands, but your intuition's telling you opposite. Your angels, your guardian angels are telling you opposite. So again, we have this, you take the step. Get up and fly, little Tinkerbell. Just gonna try to get all these here. So, you know, trust your gut and your intuition. It's speaking to you quite loudly right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you're struggling with sleep, right? Coming back to how this is manifesting. You might be tossing and turning. You might be struggling to feel awake when you are awake. So you might be like napping. Naps might be starting to catch up on you. Like midday, you might be starting to feel tired. So then I have the nice positive message here from the bundle, sort of the story here. And maybe that's why I wanted to go to these 3 charms last. But basically what's telling me is if you do take that motion, right? If you head into your trot and you take control and manifest, so you do your part, this surprise, this is my whimsy, this is my childlike, like innocence, but it's my Jack in the Box, right? You know a surprise is going to happen, just not when. And that's part of the excitement and the joy and the anticipation. So again, if you take control, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. So maybe the change in perspective is letting go of expectations. Don't put expectations on a situation or something or someone. You might not even have room for the cards here. Okay. At the end of the reading, I'm not going to bother trying to put all those back on the cards, just so you know. Yeah, look, just dip your toe in, right? What's the saying? I think that is the saying. Just dip your toe in the water. Just test it out, right? Just be gentle. Again, she's gentle. Where did I put her? Right here. She has the exact same position as the charm, right? I don't know if oh yeah, the camera's catching that. See? They have both the same charm. She won't even stay on the card. She wants to get up and fly. So, you know, stop sitting in your emotional space, right? She's playing around with her toes in the water here. She's sitting in her emotional place because it makes you feel okay. You don't feel whole, you just feel okay. But you got to take off. You got to do what you're doing, which is dip your toe in. Okay. Isn't that cute? Look how he's peeking out the window here, like, hello, who's here? Didn't we say that? Where did we say that? Oh, right, the hosting here, the little gift and the sense of direction here. I just like how he's kind of looking at the window at you. Like, who are you? What are you doing showing up here? But look what's waiting for you. Heart, understanding, right? The third eye. Flower, right? You're in a green field. You're leaving. If this is him waving goodbye, you're leaving with smiles on your faces here. So again, that surprise, right? The pleasant surprise. You know, put away your expectations of how this is going to go, because I don't think you know how this is going to go. Okay, let's head up to our final message for the month. So again, we have strong is beautiful, I choose strength. So if you choose strength, you know, muster up the courage. Usually, this is a pendulum in the sense of setting your own time, but I'm getting this more of as the pendulum of a clock, and the message of it's time. So it's time for you to grab your courage here. And what's the dove doing? Making peace. So you got, you know, look at the amount of peace that needs to be made here, that's ready to be made, actually. I should say ready to be made. But you need to be the one with the courage to reach out here with the little olive branch, right? Small gesture. Small gesture. You know, this could be a bundle of grapes. You know, maybe you'd show up with a fruit basket. I'm in Canada, so a lot of times when I visit some friends down south, I bring the blueberries from up north. You know, so there could be, you know, maybe there's something similar to that. Maybe there's a treat that you know that they enjoy, that they only get down in your area, or invite them out for that treat. You know, maybe there's something they enjoy but they don't get often, and you're the one that they enjoy that with, and you can just remind them. You know, I'm the one that you always went to go get hot dogs with, or whatever. Tacos with, I don't know. Okay. So I do get a sense that they are acknowledging that for you, this little step, this little gesture feels like a huge mountain to climb. So again, that sense of perspective, your perspective is kind of off here. You know, I don't even see this as a mountain. It's not part of the mountains back here. So this could just be a little hill in front of you. But you're equating it to the mountains here in the background. And it's not that far away. There is a dusting out, a cleaning out here of the closet. So you may have to talk through those scenarios that you didn't see the same way, right? Again, hear their perspective on it, their point of view on it, maybe sharing it, because you're turning the light on it. So you're listening in, you're understanding, right? You're listening in, you're understanding. You're trying to see it the way that they're showing it to you. So you're making effort, and that's all they're asking from you here. Just make that effort. It really just sounds like the small gesture here, other than maybe, you know, showing up with something small and physical here in your hand. But I feel like the small gesture here is just to have the courage to just sit and listen, you know. If it is a conflict, it's not easy to be the one to sit and listen and kind of receive everything that they need to say to you. But if you do that, then you have the understanding and you can respond back. Even if this is a workplace scenario, it's just you receiving their perspective on something, and then you can respond back and take action, right? So looks like July, there's a similar push to June of you still need that clarity. And you still need to take this little action. So we're going to connect in next month, Libras, and let's see what you've done.